Good morning, guys. I'm going to show you the first two things I've made today to complete my first order of the day. These are headbands for a 1-year-old. This is green and pink that they wanted. It's a bullion flower with some jewels here. And then they wanted a red one with a white rose. And I was going to tell you guys how to make these later. I can do a video tutorial, but I figured I could just tell you as well. So yeah, to get started, I just chained for the headbands. I just chained 4, and then I chained a +3, and then I slip stitched into you skip a stitch, slip stitch, chain 3, skip a stitch, slip stitch, chain 3, skip a stitch, slip stitch. You repeat that till you have 3 loops. Then you chain 3, turn your work, slip stitch into the first loop, chain 3, slip stitch into the second loop, chain 3, slip stitch into the third loop. Then you chain 3, turn your work around again, slip stitch into the first loop, chain 3, slip stitch into the second loop, chain 3, slip stitch into the third loop. And you keep doing this until it measures how big you need it. Like, these are for a 1-year-old, so I measured 16 inches for a 1-year-old's head. And they're kind of stretchy, and I didn't want them to be too big, so I actually stopped at 15 inches, even though online it says 16. So I did that till it was 15 inches wide. And then for this bullion flower, how you make a bullion flower is a chain 4, then you slip stitch to make a magic ring, and then into that ring you do 6 single crochets, and then you chain 2, and then you wrap the yarn around your hook 8 times, and then you go into the first single crochet, pull through a loop, then you pull through all 8 loops, and then you wrap your yarn around your hook 8 times, go into that same stitch, pull through a loop, pull through all 8 loops, and that's a bullion stitch. And then you want to do that in all 6 loops around. You put 2 bullion stitches in each stitch around, and then you slip stitch, and that makes that flower right there. And I just put the jewels. And then to make the rose, you chain 36, and then you chain 3, and then into the first stitch you do 3 double crochets, then you chain 3, then you do a slip stitch, chain 3, 3 double crochet, chain 3, slip stitch, chain 3, 3 double crochet, chain 3, slip stitch until you have 3 petals. And then for the next 3 petals you chain 3, 2 double crochet into the same stitch, chain 3, slip stitch, chain 3, 2 double crochet into the same stitch, chain 3, slip stitch, chain 3, 2 double crochet, chain 3, slip stitch, and then that makes your next 3 petals. So you have 3, those are your 6 petals. And then for the rest of the petals, you chain 4, and then you yarn over your hook twice, and then you do a triple crochet. So you go in, you pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 again. You do that 3 times. Then you wrap your yarn around your hook twice, go into the same stitch, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2 again. That's a triple crochet. And then you're going to do that 4 more times in the next 4 stitches. You put 2 triple crochet in each stitch. And then you chain 4, and then you slip stitch. And then in the rest of the stitches, you put 2 triple crochet into those as well. And then for the last stitch, you chain 4 and slip stitch. And then how I glued this rose together was I folded it up real nice and neat. Each petal, I lined the petals up equally, and as I went along, I just hot glued it. And that's how I made these headbands. And these are for a 1-year-old girl. when I have the time, I've been busy with a lot of orders, I can actually do a video tutorial because I know that was kind of fast. But if you want to try to make these with what I just said, I know I was talking fast, you can just pause the video, replay the video, pause it, and see if you can get anything out of it.